Mythology as a control tool. How stories get used to program the masses. And how to break the spell. By the end of this song, you will be able to explain how mythology becomes a control system. Identify the 8 main programming mechanisms. Spot the difference between true spiritual symbol vs weaponized symbol. Break the spell using logic, pattern recognition, and self-ownership. Most people think mythology is just old stories. But in real life, mythology is the first form of government. Because before people obey laws, they obey belief. Before they follow leaders, they follow stories. And once a story is installed in the mind, you don't even need chains. The person will chain themselves. Mythology is a system of symbols and stories used to shape identity, morality, fear, obedience, loyalty, reality itself. Mythology is not entertainment in its highest form. It is a psychological technology. Key idea. Mythology becomes control when it stops being a mirror and becomes a remote control. These are the ways mythology gets used to program the masses. 1. Mythos software, operating system. A myth installs a full OS into your mind. It tells you who you are, what you are worth, what happens if you disobey, who has authority over you. Example: if the story says you're born broken, you'll spend your whole life trying to be fixed. That makes you easy to control because you'll accept punishment, shame, supervision, permission-based living. The control result: people stop thinking like creators and start thinking like prisoners. Symbol hijacking. Symbols are not harmless. A symbol is a compressed instruction. So when a symbol is hijacked, the meaning gets flipped. Example pattern. A symbol that once meant life, balance, power, knowledge, gets turned into fear, shame. Don't question, obey or burn. Control result: the symbol triggers an emotion before logic can activate. Fear-based morality. Fear is the leash. Mythology becomes a prison when it uses fear to control behavior. If you question, you're evil. If you explore, you're cursed. If you disobey, you'll be punished. This is how a story becomes a cage. Control result: curiosity dies. People become obedient, not wise. The Savior Program. This one is deadly. The Savior Program teaches people: wait for rescue. Someone else will fix it. Your suffering is holy. This creates a population that stays passive even when they're being exploited. Real effect: people will accept abuse, poverty, injustice, stolen futures, because the myth trained them that endurance is righteousness. Control result: no resistance, no accountability, just waiting. Gatekeepers get installed. Once the myth is in place, the system installs authorized interpreters. These are the people who get to tell you what reality means. Clergy, institutions, scholars, official leaders. The people are trained to distrust themselves. The trick: the gatekeeper becomes God's voice. So disagreeing with them feels like disagreeing with God. Control result: your discernment gets outsourced. Repetition makes IT true. Truth is not always what is real. Truth is often what is repeated. Weekly rituals, chants, songs, and group reinforcement create belief through repetition. This is conditioning. Even if the story makes no sense, The repetition makes it feel familiar, and familiarity gets mistaken for truth. Control result. The story becomes a reflex, not a conclusion. Guilt is energy harvesting. Guilt is a renewable resource. If a system can keep you guilty, you'll do anything to feel clean again. You'll confess, submit, donate, obey, seek approval. The myth turns guilt into a business model. Control result. People become addicted to forgiveness instead of mastery. Identity fusion. This is the final lock. The system fuses the myth into identity so tightly that leaving feels like death. It creates social consequences. Lose your family. Lose your community. Lose your God. Lose your safety. So even if people see manipulation, they stay for survival. Control result. The myth becomes a hostage situation. How to break the spell? BOQTIFIED method. You don't break it by arguing with believers. You break it by exposing mechanisms. Step 1. Separate story from reality. Ask. What does the story claim? What does reality show? Step 2. Follow the incentives. Ask. Who benefits if I believe this? Who gains power if I obey this? Who profits if I stay afraid? Step 3. Identify the emotional trigger. Ask. What emotion is this story using to control me? Fear? Shame? Guilt? Hope? Step 4. Remove the middleman. Ask. Do I need permission to think? Do I need a gatekeeper to interpret my life? Step 5. Restore direct contact with discernment. Your body knows when something is off. Your intuition isn't evil. It's your internal sensor system. Discernment is not rebellion. Discernment is intelligence. Part 4. The cleanest way to teach this without attacking people. This part is important because you're not trying to humiliate people. Use this statement. I'm not attacking your faith. I'm exposing how systems weaponize belief. Because people aren't stupid. They're trained. And training can be undone. Classroom exercise. Simple and powerful. Myth or mechanism? Give them these questions. What is the rule in the story? What fear enforces it? Who benefits from that fear? What behavior does it produce? Does it make you stronger or smaller? If it makes you smaller, it's control. If it makes you stronger, it's wisdom. Look, people. Mythology isn't the enemy. The enemy is when a story is used to steal your mind, steal your power, steal your discernment, and call it holiness. Because once the mind is owned, the body follows. And that's why the real war was never on the streets. It was always in the story. Yahsinni, I just dropped the mic.